Hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about Assam floods. I'm sure you must be aware it has been very much in the news. So we will talk about Assam floods. We will especially know the reasons behind it, why the Assam floods happen. And we will over a period of time discuss about the solutions also. And the main river that causes Assam flood, actually the main river, that is Brahmaputra. So that is the reason, but there are other reasons as well. We will talk about all those reasons. We will talk about what is the significance of Brahmaputra River and things related with that in this class. So let us start with today's class. Okay. So if you see, actually these types of articles were coming in different newspaper. Why Assam remains one of India's most flood prone areas or flood prone states. So we'll talk about it. So we'll discuss each and every reason behind it. And I'm sure you must have seen, for example, on 1st August, there was an article that the death toll has reached up to 82. And a few days back, we have seen actually that death toll has perhaps reached up to 100. So almost 100 people have died officially and 1.4 lakh people were affected. Affected means they had to leave the house or their houses were damaged, etc. Their vehicles were damaged, animal husbandry loss, etc. would have happened. So this is actually what we are talking about. Now let us talk something about primarily the districts which have been affected: Sivsagar, Golaghat, Jorhat, Nagaon and Charadev. Now Charadev is important because here you will find Charadev Madam, which was added as 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Site also. In 2024. So I will give you some idea about this as well. Sorry. Okay, so that is what the news was, and let us talk where exactly is Assam. So this is a rough sketch I'm making. So this is the state of Assam. This is the state of Assam that has been affected by floods. Now, when we talk about the river that has caused the damage is Brahmaputra River. So roughly this is the Brahmaputra River. Okay. And in Tibet or China, it is called as Yarlung Sangpo. In Arunachal Pradesh, it is called as Siang. Siang. And in Assam, it is actually called as Brahmaputra River. And in actually Bangladesh, it is called as Jamuna. You know it. It meets with Ganga there. So we'll discuss about that also. That they form the delta, etc. We'll discuss it further. Yes, so this is the zoomed version. So this portion I'm zooming it. Now you can see this is Assam, right, Hana? So this is the Brahmaputra River coming. Now it's a very wide river. Quite wide, and it has a lot of huge amount of water content. Okay. And if you see the cities that were affected, and that is being talked about: Golaghat, Sivsagar, Jorhat, Nagaon, Charadev. And so here is Nagaon. Here is Golaghat. Here is Jorhat. Here is Sivsagar. And this is actually Charadev. We will discuss Charadev was also in the news last year. So, and sometimes these are asked in the exam, even, you know, that they ask questions, especially which are even 1 or 2 years more old. Of sometimes these types of current affairs are also asked. So we'll discuss about that. Here is Pakke Tiger Reserve, etc. So this is actually the Brahmaputra River. You can see here. So it is very near to Brahmaputra River. So earlier we were expecting that near to Brahmaputra River only those cities will be affected. But if you see, Golaghat is slightly away from Brahmaputra. And here is actually Charadev, that is also away from Brahmaputra. Okay. So that is one thing. Second thing is there are some other tributaries also which have caused the damage. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, but before that, we're talking about Charadev. I have told you. So Charadev Madam, where actually these are burial sites. Burial sites of Ahom dynasty. So there was Ahom dynasty in Assam in the past, and this burial site is actually the burials of the king. So the bigger the mound is, the status of the king was bigger. That was the idea behind this. So it was added in 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Site in July 2024. Okay, and if you watch our class here, we have discussed in detail 45th Sarnath, 45th UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can write Career Launcher Law Intense. You will get that video. Okay, this is on our Law Intense channel, or you can go to our Law Intense channel in the video section. You will find it. Even in other channels also of CUT and MBA, we have provided these videos. So basically, recently 45th UNESCO World Heritage Site was added. That was called as ancient site of Sarnath. Ancient Buddhist site of Sarnath was added at 44th UNESCO World Heritage Site. So here we have discussed in detail about the past World Heritage Sites also a little bit. For example, 43rd also I have shown you. What is cultural heritage site? What is natural? What is mixed? All these things we have discussed here. Okay, now let us zoom this. This is, we are talking about Ganga, Brahmaputra basin and all these things. So if you see it carefully, this is the Yarlang Sangpo river coming. It takes the turn. And this is Brahmaputra. It goes like this. Okay. Another river, main river comes as Ganga. So they both meet here. If you are able to see, this is Brahmaputra and this is Ganga. Both are meeting here and they are splitting into different rivers. First it is called as Padma, then Meghna. So this entire region is actually called as delta in geography. That whenever a water is having huge amount of water content, a river is having huge amount of water content, they actually split before meeting a big ocean or a sea or a bay of Bengal or something like that. So this is called as delta. And I'm sure you must be aware. This is called as Ganga Brahmaputra Delta, or famously called as Sundarban Delta. This is called as Sundarban Delta. And the name Sundarban actually comes from the tree, very famous tree found there, Sundari tree. From there, Sundarban has been named. Okay. And you should know one more thing, that when we are talking about this Sundarban, basically, so let me tell you. Okay, where should I write? Okay, let me write it here. Sundarban is the largest delta of the world. Largest mangrove forest of the world. And in India, it is the largest wetland, largest Ramsar sites. And you know, Ramsar site is to protect the wetlands. So it is the wetland which is the largest wetland as far as Ramsar sites in India is concerned. Okay, so these are basic things you should be knowing about. It's a basic cheez aapko pata honi chahiye. Okay, now let us talk about Brahmaputra River in Assam, in Arunachal Assam. So this is Brahmaputra River, and if you see it, it has a lot of tributary. I've told you there were some cities which were here also they were getting affected. Why? Because there's a tributary, Dhansari. There's a Dikhau tributary. They have also caused damage. Kopili. Subansari is here. Siang is here. Dibang. So this is the Siang main river. Brahmaputra River. This is called as Siang. And Dibang is its tributary. So let me write it. The main river is Siang. So which I'm making with black pen. Which is also called as Brahmaputra. And the other tributaries I'm making it with red pen. So Dibang is the tributary. Lohit, Borhi, Dihing, Dikhau, Dhansari, Kopili, so here is Subansari coming, many other Manas, Sankosh. So if you see it carefully, many of the cities which are on Brahmaputra and away from Brahmaputra, like somewhere around Dikhau or somewhere here, they were also affected because of these rivers also. Dikhau and Dhansari. So here is Dikhau. You can see this is Dikhau and this is Dhansari. They have also caused damage. Very important severe flood situation. And at Sivsagar and Numaligarh. NDRF and SDRF were carrying out operation. We have discussed also. In December 2004, we have seen tsunami that damaged India and especially the Andaman, Nicobar, etc. region. After that, next year, the Parliament passed Disaster Management Act 2005. And under it, National Disaster Management Authority was set up. National Disaster Response Force was set up. And this NDRF is having orange dress. I'm sure you must have seen. They come actually during these types of disaster crisis, etc. Okay. Now, right bank tributaries of Brahmaputra and left bank tributary. So, right bank, you can see Dibang, Subansari, and these are prominent ones. Prominent ones I have discussed. Then there is one Manas. So, these are the prominent ones. Okay. So, right bank tributary, you can see, Subansari, Manas, Sankosh, Dibang. These are the right bank tributaries. North bank, right bank. अच्छा इसमें थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ हो गया. इधर होना चाहिए दिबांग. ठीक है. So, means this is the direction. So, right bank means from the direction of the right bank. So, Subansari, Manas, Sankosh. Okay. Left bank with Lohit is very famous. Borhi, Ding, Disang, Dikhau. These are causing damage. Dhansari is causing damage. The left bank tributary. So, this is the left bank. Borhi, Ding, Dikhau, Dhansari, Kopili, Lohit. These are left bank tributaries. That's what you should be knowing about. Okay. Now, so these are the areas: Sivsagar, Golghat, Jorhat, Nagaon, Charadu that has been affected. Now, these are the things like the Chief Minister and the government has requested that you should expedite the settlement of claims, insurance claim, etc. That is what they have requested. Now, let us talk about the reason why actually the Assam becomes one of the greatest victim of the flood. So, Assam is witnessing one of the worst flood in recent years, but a combination of geography, heavy rainfall, silt-laden rivers, deforestation, riverbank erosion, all actually are responsible for this. It means natural reason, also deforestation is a human-made reason. So natural reason as well as human-made reason actually becomes the cause of flood every year. And we have seen since 1950s, you can see so many floods we had seen in the past in Assam. You can see the numbers. Okay. Assam is surrounded by Himalayas, Patkai, Naga, Khasi, Garo hills. Okay. So first of all, let us talk about this. And then we will understand. So I'm sure you must be aware, this is a basic idea you should be knowing, that India receives southwest monsoon and around July and August and all. Yes. So when the southwest monsoon comes, actually these are being taught in school days also. This is where the Western Ghat. So I'm writing WG, the mountain range called as Western Ghat. So they block it, and that's why here you will find in Mumbai and these regions you will find a lot of rainfall. And Mumbai is also famous for floods many times, etc. One of its wing actually goes like this and goes like this. One of the wing of southwest monsoon, and that's why it reaches Meghalaya. And I'm sure you must be aware, due to funneling effect, it has a lot of mountains like Garo, Khasi, Jantia hills, and due to funneling effect, it is called in geography. Actually, it causes a lot of, I would say, rain, heavy rain. So two cities are very famous, Mawsyn Ram and Cherrapunji. Mawsyn Ram, I don't know the spelling. Mawsyn, please check the spelling. I think this is the spelling. Mawsyn Ram and Cherrapunji, Cherrapunji. I think Punji is there, and Mawsyn Ram. So these are the two places famous for the maximum rainfall, India's wettest place. So of course from Meghalaya it can go to Assam also. So of course because of this wing, actually the Assam also witnesses a lot of floods. That's one reason. That's the natural reason of heavy rainfall. Okay. While nearly 40% of its land lies in the floodplain of Brahmaputra and 33% major tributaries. Another problem is Patkai, Naga, Khasi, Kharo. Okay. If you see it carefully here, so somewhere here is actually the Brahmaputra going like this. Around the Brahmaputra, you will find a lot of mountains. We call it as Mishmi. There is Abor, Miri, Dafla. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. These are mountain range. Here is Patkai Bum, very famous mountain range. Around Nagaland, just north of Nagaland in Arunachal. There is Naga Hills in Nagaland. Barail Range. Garo, Khasi, Jantia. These are actually in Meghalaya. This is Mikir Hills. Are you able to see the entire Assam around it? So this is the state of Assam. And this is Assam. And around it you will find these mountain range. Mishmi, there's Abor, Miri, Dafla. Here is Patkaibam, Naga Hills, Barail Range, Jantia, Khasi, Garo. Around it actually you will find all the mountains. So if there is a river, let's say, this is a Brahmaputra river like this. Now imagine whenever a rainfall will happen, what will happen? So let's say the rainfall happens in this Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Garo, Khasi, Jantia, Barail. All the water will actually recede to here, to this region. Because of course it will attract the gravity. And if there's a mountain region, let's say this is a mountain, and the rainfall happens, the water actually recedes to the valley because of the gravity. So of course that is also the reason why this region of Assam witness a lot of water or flooding. I hope it is clear. That is what is being talked about. And not only that, you'll find a lot of rivers and tributaries. So many rivers, of course. So if the Brahmaputra swells, of course the tributaries also can swell with more water, etc. And Brahmaputra, massive volume water and sediments from the Himalayas. So of course it is coming. It is not a rain-fed river. It is actually based on glaciers also. It comes. So these are the things. And another prominent reason is shrinking forest cover and heavy siltation. Means deforestation, which is actually done by man-made activities. So for urbanization, for promoting cities, for actually we are cutting a lot of trees, and for making furniture, for expanding the cities, etc. And the forest acts as a natural flood controller. flood regulator, you know it, and they absorb the water, send it inside the water body, helps in percolation of underground water, helps in binding the soil, so stop soil erosion. So when they stop soil erosion, it leads to lesser floods, etc. You know these things, na? So of course the human made reason is also responsible. We are actually cutting a lot of trees, and because of which heavy siltation is happening, proper soil erosion is not being stopped, and many other things. We had seen 1950s, whenever earthquake happens, also there is a move into the tectonic plates, that also can be the reason for floods, etc. Flooding and erosion are closely linked, we have seen in the past also. So we need to make big, huge size embankment. That's what the idea is. Is Nagaland also linked? And so we have seen actually Nagaland mein aap dekhoge, so this is very near to it. So whenever the rainfall, it is said that this time when the rain is happening from Nagaland also, actually that is the water is receding or moving towards the Brahmaputra River. Solution, of course, long-term solution. First, what we use the word watershed management. We should make check dams, not big dams. We should ensure afforestation, plant more and more trees, avoid cutting unnecessary trees. We should properly follow environmental laws. Unnecessary multi-purpose dam should not be there. Embankments, you understand? So let's say this is a city. I'll tell you what does embankment mean. So let's say here is a city. So let's say this is river water. This is a river. So before actually the monsoon season, the government builds embankment like this, which is actually made of mud only. Big say. Why this is called as embankment? These types of embankments are made to ensure that the river water should not cross the line. It should actually get stuck here. Okay, that's what you should be knowing. So river erosion control, etc. can be done. So proper embankment is needed. We need to actually have afforestation. No need to cut the trees. And early warning system should be there. And these are the things. Beyond a certain point, there's something which is not in human control. You cannot control the rainfall. You can, but we can control the afforestation. We can control that there should not be less deforestation. These are the things we can do. Restoring wetlands, of course, wetlands also play a very important role in storing water, etc. So we should avoid encroaching on the wetlands. We should not start making building shops, etc. on wetlands. So that's the idea behind this. Improved drainage system and advanced flood forecasting system can be there. So these are some of the recommendations. Climate resilient infrastructure should be there. We should make houses which are built strong enough. So even a little bit of water flooding or a small amount of floods should be tolerated, etc. by the building, etc. Boats. So of course, when in case of emergency, we should have a proper arrangement of boats, etc. Many other medical aid facilities should be there. Brahmaputra, it's a transboundary river. We have discussed it is called as Yarlang Sangpo in Tibet, and Siang and Dihang in Mishmi language in Arunachal Pradesh. And Dibang is its tributary. Siang or Dihang is the name of the Brahmaputra river, and Dibang is its tributary. Jamuna river in Bangladesh. And it starts from Mansarovar Lake near Mount Kailash. So it starts here, somewhere at Mount Kailash. So there's a Mansarovar Lake. So from there, actually, it starts and it goes like this. Okay. That's what you should know. Yarlang Sangpo, it is called. We have discussed about Ganga Delta. It later on called at Padma and Meghna also. After meeting Ganga, etc. You know these things. Ganga Brahmaputra Delta, I've told you, it is the largest delta of the world. Stretches from Hooghly River in west to Meghna River in east. Okay. I think that is more than enough. So this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.